This is BC Libraries Information Literacy for the Historian. Today we're going to be talking about using Zotero to put in footnotes and a bibliography in a Microsoft Word document. To get started, we have to open up Zotero, make sure it's open, and Word. You are entitled to a free copy of Microsoft Word as a Boston College affiliate. To get us started, I am going to very rapidly take us through how to set up a document. Be aware that another video takes you through that slowly. Make sure to check your ribbons across the top of the screen to see if Zotero is showing up. If it doesn't, check the library FAQ on how to troubleshoot that or contact us. We have our paper set up. Now I have a complete sentence with a period at the end that references a concept. For the historian, you want to cite to the appropriate scholars and other people that you are drawing from to define concepts like intersectionality. So here we're going to go ahead and cite that book by Crenshaw. We go to our Zotero tab. With the ribbon here, we have Add Edit Citation, Add Edit Bibliography, Document Preferences, Refresh, and Unlink Citations. I'm going to go ahead and click Add Edit Citation. The first time you ask for Zotero to include a footnote in your Microsoft Word document, you need to check your Zotero document preferences. It'll ask you what kind of style you want. You can do APA, you can do MLA, but most historians use Chicago Manual of Style, which is currently in its 17th edition, and we use fullnote. We do not use author date, and we do not use note. For your display, you're going to want footnotes. Don't worry about storing citations, leave that as field, and you do want to automatically update. When you're ready, hit OK. Zotero is going to ask us what we want to cite to. We want to cite to Crenshaw's work. The Zotero program will ask you which of Crenshaw's work you want to cite to. Here we want to cite to the article that is the book chapter and not to the anthology as a whole. So I click on Race, Reform, and Retrenchment. And for a footnote, you want to specifically cite to the pages you are drawing from and not to the text as a whole, unless you're talking about that text as a whole, which we happen to be in this particular instance. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Enter. You'll notice that we now have a superscript 1 to the right of the period flush against it. And if we scroll down to the bottom of our page, you have the footnote in Chicago 17th edition footnote style, long form specifically. You'll notice we have first name, last name, a comma here, and then Race, Reform, and Retrenchment with the full title in. Then we have the title of the edited volume, comma, edited by Kimberly Crenshaw et al., open parens, New York, colon, New Press, comma, 1995, close parens, comma, and then the page range for that book chapter. This is actually a complete citation. It is just about perfect. So we're going to scroll back to the top of the page and put in another space. I'm going to go ahead and put in a period there. And once again, I'm going to hit Add Edit. And I'm going to type in Crenshaw's name again. You'll notice that we now have a cited to as well as a My Library. I'm going to go ahead and click on that one that we've already cited to. And this time, I'm going to add in a page number. Click on Crenshaw's last name, and under Page, I'm going to type in 103 and hit Enter. And I hit Enter. I'm scrolling back down to the bottom of my page where the footnotes are at the foot of the page. So you'll notice that For number 2, we are not citing to 1 again. We have a second footnote. We only have Crenshaw's last name and the page number. This is moving in towards what's short form. This one is long form, and number 2 is short form without the title because it is directly following the same text. I'll show you in a second what it looks like when it has something in between it. I'm going to add in another footnote. This time, because I'm talking about gender, I want to cite to Scott. So here I've typed in Scott, I click on the name, and once again I'm going to go ahead and put in a page number. So 1053, hit enter again. Scroll back down to the foot of my page to take a look at the citation. You want to make sure you look at your citations, because if there's a mistake in Zotero, there's going to be a mistake in your footnotes. Once again, Zotero is not an AI, it is not a learning algorithm. There's a mistake in one of the Zotero fields, there is going to be a mistake in your paper. So reading through our citation, we see that it's Scott, we have the full title, we have the journal title, we have the volume number, the issue number, then we have the date without the month, colon, our page number that we're citing to, comma, and the DOI. It is not wrong to have the DOI, but for Chicago you don't need it in there unless the object is born digital. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to Zotero. I just took out the DOI field. I'm throwing that in my notes to store it, and then going back to my full entry. The other thing that I need to change is adding in that month to my year so that it's more precise, which is what we want for a journal article. Now you'll notice that I went into Zotero and changed the fields in my bibliographic entry for that journal article. I'm now going back to my Word document. I'm clicking into the field so that it turns gray, and I'm going to go back to my ribbon and click on refresh. You'll notice that now footnote 3 for Joan Walsh Scott has included that month with the year and has taken out the DOI. If I had had multiple citations, Zotero would have then fixed them all and not just 1 or 2 of them to make final edits very useful. I just added in another sentence because I want to show you what it looks like when we have 2 authors with different text to the same footnote. So I have 2 texts. Crenshaw will show up first because I have it first in this list, but I could click on Crenshaw and drag that citation after Scott if I wanted them to show up in a different order. I now hit enter. And you'll notice that we have Crenshaw with a comma, race, reform, and retrenchment, and that page number. That is in contrast with footnote 2, which left out the short form title. To give you a look at the full page, here we have our header, our title, the text of the body of the paper, which actually needs to be double-spaced, and then here at the bottom of the page we have the footnotes. To get started, I'm going to hit enter twice after the last line of my text. I'm going to get rid of that first line indent. I'm going to go to insert, and I want to go to page break. You'll notice that I am now on the next page. You do not want your bibliography for Chicago to show up on the same page as your text. It should be on a fully new, clean page. I'm going to type in the word bibliography, hit enter twice, and I'm going to go back to that Zotero tab and hit add edit bibliography. Zotero is going to read all of your footnotes and compile a bibliography out of that. You'll notice that Crenshaw here has the last name, comma, first name, period, as opposed to the footnote, first name, last name, comma. A footnote is designed to be part of the conversation to go with the body of your paper. A bibliography is designed to be parsed very quickly, so you should be able to just scan the left for authors, who according to the historian are the most important part of the entry, in part because authors have bias, etc. You can, as you go, actually update your bibliography as well as your footnotes. I'm going to scroll back up to my text, add in another sentence. I'm going to add in a citation. And you'll notice that this particular text has already shown up in the bibliography. And you have that full line of editors written out and not just collapsed like it is in the footnotes. All right, at this point we've added footnotes and a bibliography using Chicago's 17th edition fullnote to your historical research paper. All right, we've reached the end of our video. If you have any questions for me, B. Lehman, you can go to the Library History Research Guide at libguides.bc.edu/history, and under the picture, check out the email me or schedule an appointment buttons. I look forward to hearing from you.